This summer, I went up to the Adirondacks with my friend. The red light went on. I went up to the Adirondacks with my friend, and it brought back memories of when I went to Pebble Hill Church Camp up there. It was kind of a different kind of camp. If you paid so much money, you got to be part of the keg brigade, and you could drink all the beer you wanted. And the first night they had a big party, and people were calling from around the lake to the camp director, wanting to know if there were Hell's Angels there. And he said, "Oh no, that's a church group from Pennsylvania." So, well, the next day I went out. I had a little monkey puppet named Bongo. So I took him into town, and I had a beer in the bar, and he ordered a banana daiquiri. We went down the road and stopped in the historical society, but they got a little hysterical. I guess they don't see monkeys up there too much. And I was trying to hitchhike back to the camp with the monkey out like this, and then I went to a restaurant and I ate, had a great meal, and then I left a tip and I said, goodbye, thanks a lot, it was very good, and I forgot to pay the bill. So finally I made it back to the camp, and people were getting dressed for a big costume party that night. So I looked out the window of my cabin, and there was a state police car. And I remembered that I hadn't paid, and I had given the woman money who was staying at the place where I had eaten at the restaurant. So she sees the state police car, and she's thinking the same thing as I'm thinking. I'm coming out, and she's waving the money, said, he paid, he gave me the money to pay the bill. And the policeman said, that's not what we're interested in. We want to know who's in charge of him. And Gwen, who's wearing a gold lame bra and a genie in a TV show, she says, oh, I'm in charge of him. And the cop looks at her with this deadly stare, and finally she backs down. And meanwhile, our minister and the other guy that kind of headed the camp from the church, they're all in drag for the costume party. So they're madly trying to take off the wigs, get the lipstick off, do all this, and finally they come out, and they agree to take care of me and not let me off the premises again. Well, the next morning, I like to try and rid myself of all that. I thought, I'm gonna take a swim. But you couldn't swim in the morning before breakfast because there was no lifeguards till after breakfast. But Gary, the minister, liked to swim too, and Moose, this lady, she liked to swim. So we went down there, and I, of course, went in first, and I go, it felt so good, and then I went, and I swam right into a rock. My name's Rocky, too. So I come out, and the way the people looked at me was not good. We went back up the nurse at the camp gave me 6 Tylenols. But finally they had to take me to the where they could stitch me up. I needed 13 stitches. So, but I didn't want to, when I came back to the camp with my nose all stitched up, I didn't want to tell, that we were down there swimming when we shouldn't have been, especially with the minister part of our group. So I said, I was jogging and I ran into a branch. And the little kids would ask me, what happened to your nose? I said, I was jogging and I hit this branch. And I was telling everybody that. But I was feeling bad that I was lying to all these little kids and all the grown-ups too. So that night was skit night. So I got the minister's wife to be a priest. And she had a mustache like that guy on, I forget that show, but he was a funny priest. And she had a collar and all. So I came up, it was like confession. I said, Father, I have sinned. And she said, what? How did you sin? And I said, I lied to the children and the grown-ups. I didn't really run into a branch and break my nose. I went swimming before I was supposed to and swam into a rock. She said, oh, she gave me, what are they, Hail Marys or things to do to cleanse my soul. And everybody clapped at my honesty. And from my experience there at camp, I learned, and I was a lifeguard too for years. The first thing we learned was not to swim, into water where you didn't know what was there. So I learned whenever I went in the water, my hands went first, not my nose. And but I did not learn anything. I did not learn how not to take the monkey out and talk to people. So that's my story. Thanks a lot.